And I'll prove it to you with stats in just a moment. Mario didn't live off of showroom traffic. He lived off his telephone. He lived off of BMAX, repeats, and referrals. And that was in the 80s before we had all this fancy, funky, amazing stuff that's going to replace brick and mortar. And I believe in technology. I'm the president of a technology company. But you know what? You can buy a little teensy-weensy little CRM tool for $300 a month and use it diligently and have processes in place and hold your people accountable, and you'll sell more cars. Or you buy the most expensive, fancy thing that my company has, event solutions, dealer socket, doesn't matter which one, but without processes and accountability, you're wasting your money. It truly is not about technology, ladies and gentlemen. It is still about people. Look at this stat. 82% of customers can't recall their salesperson's name only 12 months later after buying a car. Doesn't that just stagger you just a little bit to think about that, as great as we think we are in this industry? And that staggering fact that I covered just a moment ago. Now, think about it. When I flew into Vegas, I flew Continental Airlines, which became United. I really wish there was still Continental over United. And the reason why I fly United is because I'm platinum with them. You know why? Because Continental United love me because I fly them all the time. Because I'm a B-back. I'm a repeat customer, baby. So they upgrade me to first class. It was amazing. No extra charge. I normally stay at the Hilton hotels because I'm dining with Hilton. And what's the value of that? Well, they upgrade my rooms. I can give your room, sir, if the hotel's sold out. They'll give it to me because I'm dining and tell you, I'm sorry, sir, we oversold. We need to move you to a sister property. They understand the value of a repeat customer and a be-back. I look at Chase Bank and how I get points and I can earn reward points. The financial industry gets it. The hotel industry gets it. The airline industry gets it. But yet, what are we all looking for? If I ask you this thought-provoking question today, I'm going to ask you to do your math in your own head. If you look at your sales team back home, how many of your people that sell cars for you can make a living without an internet lead, a showroom up, or a phone up? How many? I know the math because I've asked this question in front of thousands of salespeople. I've had them stand. How many have been in the business 5 years or longer? And they stand by the hundreds. And I say, okay, how many of you make a living without internet leads, showroom ups, or phone ups? Guess how many are left standing? 10%. If I have 20 standing, I'll have 1 or 2 standing left. I'm sure that math works at your dealership too. So what's happening? Why is it that all of our salespeople are up chasers? I call them waiters. They stand around and wait all day long for the phone to ring. Hand me an internet lead, please, or a showroom up to come. A waiter. See, I believe waiters belong in restaurants, waiting tables. I believe we need to go back to our dealerships today and become farmers. We need to teach our people the value of planting a seed, watering a seed, fertilizing. If I plant a kernel of corn, why farmers? That doesn't sound too sexy. No, but farming gives you predictable results. You will not plant a kernel of corn and get a tomato plant, I promise you. You're going to get corn. A corn stalk, multiple years, a bunch of kernels for one kernel. We need to go back and teach our salespeople the value. You say, well, I need a BDC. Ladies and gentlemen, you have a BDC, a business development center. They're standing around on your showroom floor today. And they're doing what? Surfing on the internet. Oh, this is a valuable piece of information. Boss, I'm reading the newspaper to stay up with current times. And this is really encouraging, too, to read all this news, right? It's so inspiring to read about the guy that he found guilty of killing his third wife. We've got another hurricane out in the Gulf. I mean, doesn't that just motivate you? Attitudes determine altitude, how high you can fly. Attitudes are contagious. If I caught yours, would it make me well or make me sick? But yet, all of our showroom floors, the huddles, I love the huddles. We got to have a huddle about every 2 hours. That's where your salespeople gather up and they trash you, Mr. Dealer. They talk about the used car manager don't know how to praise a car. Internet manager don't know how to do any marketing. The advertising manager's lost. The manufacturer don't know how to build cars. The person ordering didn't order right. And those huddles are so productive for great behavior, right? But what if we went back to our dealerships and said, yes, I know according to an ADA, the average salesperson works 9.5 hours a day. Timeout correction. They're at the dealership 9.5 hours a day. The average 1 hour and 45 minutes of productive activity. So if you have 10 salespeople, what if you actually got them 4 hours a day to go to work? Go to work, not go to work to hang out, to visit, to chit, to chat, to talk, to pass the time, to take long lunches, smoke cigarettes, and fix the world's problems. What if 10 people came and just worked 4 hours of productive activity? You know that's 40 hours a day. Times a 6-day work week, that's 240 hours a week. Can you tell me that would not change your business, sir? But here's your challenge. As Greg Cardone said earlier, they don't know what to do. They don't know who to call, who to talk to, and if they call them, they don't know what to say. You see, we have become broken as an industry. I want to challenge you today to think that we might possibly be unconsciously incompetent in our industry. I not long ago was reading a magazine, and I ran across this article about this young lady named Kim Lehman, who averages 30 cars a month, has a CSI rating of 3.92. 4.0 is the best you can have at General Motors, so she's pretty good, right? And I read about her, and she says, I go to work. I don't go to work to sit around. She said, now the first 4 or 5 years of my career, I worked 60, 65 hours a week. But she says, now I go in around 9:15. I work about 50 hours a week. I deliver 30 cars a month. And I called her. Her phone number was at the bottom of the article. And I began to talk to this amazing lady and asked her, would you join me in a sales rep? She goes, oh, Mr. Kelly, man, I'm not a speaker. I said, I don't want you to speak. I just want to interview you. I just want to ask you questions. She said, I'll be happy to. She showed up a little short woman about this talk. And as I asked her what she'd do it every day, and what was her daily duties about, and what did she do every day, she said, well, first of all, what she said is, I don't sit around and talk. Visiting is not an option. I don't go to work to visit. I go to work to work. And see, the challenge is all of you in this room today are working. You're busy every day while your people stand. It's like the general is fighting the battle, and the soldiers are standing by. Because we didn't teach them how to shoot the gun. It's ready, fire, aim. We never did the ready and the aiming is the training and development. And when you were reached out to as a normal dealer, and I know because I deal with dealers all day long that spend hundreds and millions of dollars on advertising, but won't spend a penny on training, won't spend $1 on their people, and wonder why they come and they go, they come and they go, they're here today and they're gone tomorrow. I can't keep good people, I can't find good people. Sir, might it be, and lady, that if you looked in the mirror, you might accidentally find the enemy to your processes because of lack of leadership and setting the plan. When Kim, she said, I don't go to work to stand at the point. She said, I would feel like a beggar begging for a piece of bread. She said, plus they treat you with disrespect, and they don't trust you, and they're hateful and mean, and you don't make any money. How about the up that comes in with the newspaper article in your hand? Don't you love that up? What is it, low gross, tough CSI, a tough sale? Our focus is all wrong. 90% of our salespeople, and many of your dealerships, 100% of your salespeople are looking for the showroom up, the internet lead, phone call opportunity. I hope by this point we're entering into the second arena, which is consciously incompetent. Now, I'm not trying to say that we're all a bunch of losers. Obviously, we're winners, or we wouldn't be here today. But the question is, what level would you like to win at? Would you really like to get to the next level? If so, then our pride has to go. So can everybody please raise your right hand? We'll have a small exercise. Take your hand, please, and turn it, and just go ahead and pat yourself on the back. And you're amazing. You're a great dealer, and you're here today. You're a great GM. But is it possible there's another level of leadership that you could go back home to your hometown dealership and make a great change? Well, let me prove it to you by the numbers. No more guesswork. No more stories. The numbers. Does anybody in this room know what the closing ratio is on a fresh up? A customer that's never been to your dealership. Because what is this number? Does anybody know what this number is, by the way? This is our national average. This is your number, our number. This is our national closing average. Which means what? 81.4% of the time, what happens? We don't sell a car, we lose the game. But what percent of customers buy first time in? Do we know the number? The number is 9%. Now that's problem number one. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. I want to go heart to heart to you for a moment. If I asked you what's a great batting average in baseball, what would you tell me? 300. If I asked you what is a fabulous ERA in baseball, what would you tell me? 2.0 or less would be amazing, right? If I ask you what is the first pinnacle of success for a running back in the NFL? What would you say? How many rushing yards? 1,000. If I asked you if we had a sports team today, and some of you may even own one, what's the first goal? If we had a team that's 0-16, what's our first big goal? To be what? But if we're 0-16, we want to first play 500 ball, right? 8 wins, 8 losses. Now, here's the thing. We know more about sports than we know about our own business. Unconsciously incompetent. Should we know the industry standard benchmarks? Should we have them memorized? Should we be teaching and coaching from them? And better yet, should we know our numbers? If I ask you what your demo ratio is today, you might say, well, I know what it is. And you would go to your log based on what your salespeople said. Do you think they actually tell you the truth? We teach our people that when the customer's lips are moving, they're what? They're what? Can I hear you? Do we believe our people tell us the truth? Or do they actually lie to us because they think they're helping themselves and they're actually hurting you and they're hurting themselves? And the results are what? At the end of the day, bad. So I want to challenge everybody in the room today to learn the industry numbers. Does anybody know what the average closing ratio is on the internet? It's a lot better than that first time up. A lot better. Does anybody know what the number is? It's actually not a lot better. I lied. It's 10%. 9% on fresh ups, 10% on internet leads. But if we actually got them to log them so that we could call them, and we got them back in, does anybody know what the closing ratio is on a be back? 60 what? 67% on a be back, 60% on a repeat, 55 on a referral. Now when we look at those three numbers, ladies and gentlemen, how in the world can our national average be 18.6 when those numbers are so high, 67, 60, 55? Because 90% of our salespeople today are trying to sell who? Who? The fresh up and the what? Internet lead. So that's why we're averaging 18.6. I mean, it's not rocket science here. We're unconsciously incompetent. We're focused on more foot traffic, more internet leads, more advertising dollars blown, instead of actually focusing on what the guy standing on the stage talked about the other day, our database. Our database of sold, service, parts, body shop, unsold, internet, phone ups, phone leads. We got a bank. We have a dealer with us that is in the top 5, Chrysler Jeep Dodge dealers in America, that has 1.2 people in their database with us. Spring Chrysler Jeep Dodge. Fred has Toyota World, one of our other clients. Number 2 in the country for Toyota. Has over 600,000 customers in their database with us. Is that a gold mine, your database? To work repeat referrals, to be a Continental United Airlines, to be a Hilton, to be a Chase Bank, for us to say, you know what, if it works for them, it might accidentally work for us. But here's the challenge. Here's the challenge. The average dealer that sells 100 cars a month sold, okay, if the dealer's closing ratio was 20%, okay, which means you're better than that ugly old national average. How many ups did he have? It's simple math. All you do is multiply times 5. So if we sold 100 cars, we had 500 ups. Now you go back to your dealership and see how many cars you sold. If you sold 200 at 20% delivery, above the national average, you should have logged how many ups? 200 cars? How many? 1,000. So if you logged 800, you missed about how many ups? 200. But I wish the numbers were that good. Do you know the average dealer in America that says he's logging ups, whether he's using paper or a fancy CRM tool? Do you know what the average dealer selling 100 cars? How many ups do they sell 100? Does anybody want to guess? Sir? That's the number. We log 50% of our traffic. 250 are logged. Hold on, why is that so important? Why does that really matter? Well, here's what matters. The 250 we missed. Do these people have better credit or worse credit? Better. These people here are trying to buy a car. Oh, here's my driver's license, my proof of income, my social security card. Dear God, my mother's name, my maiden name, my sister's name. How many co-signers do I need? Do we need to put my mom's name, my sister's name, my brother's name? Hey, my next door neighbor would probably help me with a little co-sign, right? These 250 here, though, they're not trying to buy a car. They're waiting on somebody to what? Say it again, please. They're what? Sell them a car. These people are your most valuable commodities. They're you. When you walk into a place and you don't like something, what do? You hang around? Or you're out lickety split, right? And you know what the salesperson says about you? Goes to his boss and says what? He's what? He's not serious. He's a tire kicker. Not serious? Are you kidding me? If he wasn't serious, where would he be? Shopping right now. Where? He'd be at the internet, at the hamburger stand around his office, shopping online, right? So if Julie, she said, hey, I want to look at Coach purses, so she Googles Coach, she starts looking at Coach purses. She's a shopper. But she decides, you know what? I wonder if Dillard's has this Coach purse. So she looks at Dillard's. She just went from a shopper to a what? A buyer. So when they show up at the showroom floor, are they buyers? I'm going to show you stats in a minute to prove it. You see, in the 80s, a customer stopped at an average of 4.3 dealerships. Did you know that? But they stopped for what? Why did they come in? And what were they looking for? Remember those things we used to buy and spend tens of thousands of dollars a month on? Do you remember those? What were they? Brochures. 4 brochures, 4 sales experiences, and I'll leave mad, happy, sad, or glad. And I'm going to decide I'm going to go back and visit 2, and I'm going to buy for 1. Now the number is, they stop at 1.8 dealerships, not 4.3. They're not playing, they're buying. And I'll show you in a minute what percent actually buy a car within 4 hours of stopping the first showroom floor. They're not playing, ladies and gentlemen, they're serious. So if we understood this, do you know that 33% of your customers are willing to return to your dealership if you would just log them and proper follow-up was conducted? Incidentally, does anybody know what the follow-up is on an unsold customer? It's 10% on sold. Y'all saw that, right? 10%. Does anybody know what the follow-up is on an unsold customer? It's a lot better, right? Because they didn't buy and I'm on commission, so I'm going to call them, boss. Are you kidding, boss? If they were a buyer, I'd have logged them. And yes, sir, I've called everybody, for sure. What is the follow-up on an unsold customer? Does anybody know the number? It's embarrassing, it's ugly. It's 15%. 85% never get called once they leave the dealership. Why? Because 50% of them, we never got the data on. And the 50% we did, we're too busy smoking cigarettes, doing, working on crossword puzzles and having our huddles and everything else involved in daily work to the car dealership. But if 33% are willing to come back, Julie, what's that magical number? No, out of 250. No, out of 250, that's actually 82. That's 82. 82 is 33% of 250. Fortunately, I have my backup numbers for you here. 82. Now, do you know that 67% of B-Bags close? So how many car deals are there? That's 55. 55 car deals are lying in the 250 we're not logging. Those tire kickers, these are the guys with 800 beacon scores. The guys with disposable cash and equity in their trades. And they're also the whales. They own companies, they manage people, they're influencers in their world. If you just got this one fact today, this can change your business. But let's talk about the 400. We sold 100, we had 500 ups, so there's actually 400 that didn't buy. Times 33%. You remember that number? That's how many people are willing to come back if we conduct a proper follow-up. And that is that magical number of 132. And then they close at 67%. Julie, how many car deals is that? 88 car deals. Ladies and gentlemen, we can almost double our sales. Never spend another dollar, never have another up, never have to appraise another car. Just do logging and follow up. It's really that simple to just appreciate the fact they showed up on our showroom floor. Get their name, address, phone number, and email address, and start contacting them. So we sold 100 the first shot, we sold 88 the second time, and ended up at 188. Didn't do any more work, didn't spend any more money. Now here's the challenge. Your salespeople don't get it either, just like we don't. Because they're unconsciously incompetent because we have not painted the vision for them. Because we haven't known our numbers, so we don't know it. It's pretty impossible to teach it, isn't it? So let's look at it. If we taught our salespeople, Mr. Salesperson, come to work, and instead of just showing up and grabbing it up and hanging out all day, hope you get lucky, we're going to give you a database of customers. We're going to give you service customers, parts customers, body shop customers that have never bought a car from us, but they do business with us. We're going to give you orphan owners that were sold by salespeople that are no longer here. And we're going to give you scripts, teach you how to do it, hold you accountable for how many calls you make per hour, how many contacts you make. When you make an appointment, you get them in, then we're going to help you do the demo, walk around, service walk, present the numbers, close the deal. We're going to be your partner. But you're going to come to work every day to work for those 9.5 hours. Give an hour off for lunch, 8.5 hours of hard duty. And you're going to work. And then when you average 10 cars a month, Mr. Salesperson, and you do that for 12 months, you'll sell 120 cars. At 20% delivery, sir, you would have talked to 600 ups, of which out of the 600, 480 of them didn't buy. Woo! That's exhausting. No wonder our numbers are what they are. No wonder our salespeople are struggling. No wonder the national average is 8.6 sales per salesperson. Because possibly we might have 8 car a month managers coupled up with 8 car a month salespeople. That's a hell of a team. And we're hitting our numbers. But the financial statement doesn't work. Market share is not what we want it to be. But if you got this, Mr. Salesperson, you built a database of 600 people, I want to teach you, Mr. Salesperson, the numbers. 30% of everybody in your database says somebody's going to buy a car in the next 90 days. Now, how does all that work out? Well, 30% of 600 is 180. Divided over 3 months, that means there's 60 opportunities a month. 10% of your market is in market right now with their family, immediate family, or the buyer, or the prospect, or the parts customer, service person, body shop customer in your database. 60 a month closing at 20%. And I sold myself 12 cars and I don't take any more ups. But they don't close it at 20%. They close it 60, 70. So let's use 40%. I sold 24 cars and didn't take it up. You see, we must get the vision in order to teach the vision. And then we need to hold our people accountable. They must be responsible for their time. What other industry in the world, think about it, could have a sales team that does nothing until somebody shows up? It only works in restaurants with waiters. You know, one of my favorite things to do is go to restaurants, and I can't help myself from being a car guy for so many years. I believe what Joe Girard taught us years ago. Remember Joe? He'd go to the Detroit Tiger games, and every time he hit home runs, anybody remember what he'd do? He would grab his business cards. It was crazy, man. And he would just do this right here. He would throw business cards. Amazing. And the people would pick them up and Joe Girard. You laugh if you want, but he sold 100 cars a month. That was crazy, right? So I never threw my business cards till now. Maybe in a couple of sales rallies, but at a restaurant I throw them. I tell the waitress or waiter, thank you for a great service. I appreciate it today. I'm in the car business. I love to return the favor. And can you get your manager over? I'd like to tell them what a great job you did today. And they come over. And I said, man, thanks for the food, great service. And I run the Toyota store down the street. I just want to let you know I'm available, and I love to create great service for you and your clients. Or I go to the dry cleaners and say, I get into closed dry cleaners, or can I put business cards here? I spend money with you. I go to school, go to church, everywhere I go. I'm my own marketing man. You see, your salespeople don't know that because you haven't taught them that. And to make it even worse is we don't show them how to do it. We as dealers, general managers, sales managers, F&I, and say we don't set the example. We don't carry our business cards. We don't show them how it works. So they really don't know how to do it. They're in the dark. I'm in a restaurant not too long ago. And I said, great service. I said, I run a research company and a CRM company. But Don McGill Toyota just down the street, my client. I got 65 clients here in Houston. They're our clients. And if you ever need a car, I'd love to help you out. And can I meet your manager? Well, the owners here, Pedro. They come over. I meet Pedro and Adriana. Great people. We become great friends. They're at my house 6 months later. Pedro goes, we're going to buy a new Toyota pickup. Can you set us up at Don McGill? I said, well, where did you buy the Toyota pickup you have now? We bought it on the north side. From who? Well, who sold you the truck? The greatest salesman I ever met. Really, what was great? He was wonderful and sweet and kind, about 60 years old. Adriana kissed him on the cheek when we got the truck. She loved him so much. I said, well, what's his name? He goes, you know, I can't remember his name. Why? Did he not call you and say, thanks for buying? No. Did I call you a week later and check on you? No. He didn't call you 3 months later, then 6, then 1 year later, anniversary. He didn't ever prospect the household. He never called you and said, may I ask how many drivers are in your family? 3. How many vehicles in your family? 3. Of your 3 drivers, 3 vehicles. Who's most likely to replace your vehicle next? I would have really thought about it. Maybe my wife. Why do you say the wife for the cars I don't want to pay for repairs? What's her name? What kind of car she's driving? How many miles are on it? Do you have a payment? What's the payments per month? And when you're in the market, she wanted a new or used, a new. A car truck racer, she wanted a new car. I say, well, are you 6, 9, 12 months out? We're probably 12 months out. Oh, that's too bad. And we said, well, we got $5,000 in rebates and 0% interest in the car you just described that your wife owns. Will never be worth more money than this today. In fact, we need that car. We're looking for that car. It's going to bring all the money. And tomorrow it'll be worth less than 1 month of signal. 1 year from now, it probably won't be worth anything. And there's a percentage of customers say, oh, when? Saturday, afternoon, evening, early or late. Probably later. I got an appointment at 7:15. I'll call you the day before confirm the appointment. Can I get your email address? Send an email to verify. And we're going to send you some information about those new cars cars, and can I send an email to your wife and that show that information? Our people don't know how to do that. We haven't taught them how. I learned to prospect a household in 1982. I also learned cash is king, which we don't do anymore either. Because back then, cash equaled what? Gross. But cash no longer equals gross, right? Wrong. Cash does equal gross. What's happened is we have become unconsciously incompetent. We're chasing technology and all the fancy stuff, and we forgot the basics of the business. So how do we turn all this around? Well, first of all, learn all the numbers. I love this one. 38% Bible in 4 hours, 57% Bible in 3 days, 90% Bible in a week. Why is the Bible cycle so short, ladies and gentlemen? They're shopping on the internet, and guess what they're doing when they pull up to your dealership? They're buying. And our salespeople believe, I'm not buying right now, I'm shopping. That's the favorite saying in the world for a consumer that's hiding. Now, consciously competent. Now, what this means is, ladies and gentlemen, you must go back to your dealership. If you really believe what I'm talking about today, and we've got to break some hard habits. Shop service customers, orphan owners, work in that database. Why is it worth it? Well, in the fourth stage of unconsciously competent, where we have those great habits, there's a payday, there's a paycheck, there's a reward, there's a goal. I love what this kid's doing. Look at him taking out that other dude. Is that amazing? It's best before standing directly in the path of a competitive jerk who's chasing his goals, because personal growth does take sacrifice, devotion, and commitment to get to that end of the road and actually get paid. To have a lift in sales, more growth, better paychecks, and greater CSIs at chapel. Now, let me ask you this. If we talked about goals for your salespeople, by a sound of yes, how many of you in this room believe that your salespeople can make $120,000 a year selling cars? If you believe it, can I hear a yes? Yes. We believe it. How much is that? That's $10,000 a month, $2,500 a week, $500 a day, $56 an hour. But the only number I really want you to remember is this one. 92 cents a minute. Why are the minutes so important? Because the minutes become hours, hours, days, days, weeks, weeks, months. We wonder what happened. The minutes are the inches that we started talking about today. That in that movie with those cars on 2 wheels, the inches you're looking for are the minutes. You must go back to your dealership and manage the minutes of your people. Get them to work as hard as you are. Get them to be as goal-oriented as you are. Paint a vision for them as you have. You know what your pay plan pays you. You know what you'll accomplish as a dealer, a GM. I know, as the president and CEO of Car Research, as an equity partner and stockholder in the company, I know what these certain goals are going to do for me financially in my career. So I'm focused. But my people have to buy in as well. My regional directors that are here, district managers, and VP of marketing, they have to all understand the piece. And your challenge is to go back to your dealership and get them to see it. But the first thing we must know is that time is money and money is time. Now, I invited a very dear, great guy, all of you in the room know, to come and make the point of inches and how important they are. The great man, Al Pacino. Watch this.
I don't know what to say, really. 3 minutes to the biggest battle of our professional lives. All comes down to today. Even we heal as a team. We're going to come inch by inch, play by play, till we're finished. We're in hell right now, Kevin. Believe me. And we can stay here, get the shit kicked out of us, or we can fight our way back into the light. We can climb out of hell. 1 inch at a time. Now, I can't do it for you. I'm too old. I look around, I see these young faces, and I think, I made the wrong choice of middle-aged man today. I pissed away all my money, believe it or not. I chased off anyone who's ever loved me. And lately, lately, I can't even stand the face I see in the mirror. You know, when you get old in life, things get taken from you. I mean, that's part of life. But you only learn that when you start losing stuff. You find out life's just a game of inches. So is football. Because in either game, life or football, the margin for error is so small. I mean, 1/2 a step too late or too early, and you don't quite make it. 1/2 second too slow, too fast, you don't quite catch it. The inches we need are everywhere around us. They're in every break of the game, every minute, every second. On this team, we fight for that inch. On this team, we tear ourselves and everyone else around us to pieces for that inch. We claw with our fingernails for that inch. Because we know when we add up all those inches, that's going to make the difference between winning and losing. Between living and dying. I'll tell you this, in any fight, it's the guy who's willing to die who's going to win that inch. And I know how can I be like it? It's because I'm still willing to fight and die for that inch. Because that's what living is. There's 6 inches in front of your face. Now I can't make you do it. You gotta look at the guy next to you. Look into his eyes. Now I think you're gonna see a guy who will go that inch with you. You're gonna see a guy who will sacrifice himself for this team because he knows when it comes down to it, you're gonna do the same for him. That's the team, gentlemen. And either we heal now as a team, or we will die as individuals. That's what all guys. That's all it is. Now, what are you going to do?
You know, I can't say it like the great Al Pacino. Turn those lights up, please, brother. Where's my video guy? Can you turn the lights up, brother? Video guy, thank you, sir. I can't say it like him, but what I can tell you is true. That I told you my life story and I was sincere and it's real, it's a fact. Where would I be today if Leo Martin hadn't come back to the Missouri Nightingales Club and said, "Hey, come back to this time"? You know why he came and got me? Because I go to baseball because I have a passion for baseball. In fact, I had herniated disc surgery 1 month ago today. I didn't think a week ago I could be here today. I'm barely here. Took my brace off and be here so I could wear a suit to be with you today. I love baseball. And I've gone all over that community where I try to sell cars. And I raise money for 4 uniforms. And I got to worship here at the community uniforms because the kids could take them home and never come back. I got a field building that we can use and a lawn company that we cut the lawn and a fence company build a backstop. And I got a sport against the word to donate bats and balls and gloves and the Astros to donate 10 tickets to the winning team. We started baseball. I went to the Lions Club, the Kiwanis Club, and I built this money because I wanted to help these kids. Why did I go back to the West Club? Does anybody want to know why I went there and looked for that job and got it? Because my mom worked all the time, and I had no dad. So where did I go when I got out of school? The West Club. So my tendency was to go right back to where I grew up. Now Leo came and got me. He donated $5,000 to Missouri Nightingales Club. Gave me 2 afternoons off a week to come and run my baseball league. And he said, "This time, I give you a fish and feed you for a day. I teach you to fish, I feed you for a lifetime." And that old man who passed 2 years ago, I get emotional when I think about him. Because he's like my daddy. He brought me back. And this time, they taught me how to be a demo. See, they thought I was a waste. And they were standing around waiting to see if I was going to make it or not. Well, hell, I can't make it unless you help me make it. You thought enough of me to hire me. You thought enough of me to hire me. Think enough of me to train me and care about me. Can you teach me what I can do in this industry? And if we went into every one of your dealerships today, and you had to sit out of the room, and I sat with your people, and I handed them a form, and I asked them to qualify you as a leader. Do you respect your manager? Do you look up to him? Do you want to be like him? Do you believe in what he tells you? Do you believe he cares for you? Do you believe he's bought into your success? Does he care about you and your family? Does he know when you're off kilter? Does he know how to kick you in the butt? Or hug you something? Or high five you to do something good? I love that book, Good With My Cheese. Actually, it was the 1 Minute Manager. The 1 Minute Manager book. It said, catch somebody doing something right, you always catch him when they do wrong. Why not catch him doing something right? Congratulate him. So you as a dealer, you as a GM, you as a GSM, as an internet manager, F&I managers are the worst. And I was one. Where they think they're gossip, and you think it's their freaking when they're going into customers, but they have those car deals, right? That's one of those things I love to do with cocky F&I managers, is remind them, unless a car sold you, you don't need to do anything. You don't make a penny, you don't make a dollar. But if we ask your people, how would they score you? Would they say you're a leader? Or would they say you're just a manager? I want to challenge you to be the Leo Martin in somebody's life back at your leadership. Teach them how to fish. Build their loyalty. Let them know you care about them. Set the numbers. Know the numbers. Win the respect. Live by the numbers. Why AC? What a stat in football. Yards after catch. Why do we measure that? Because the coach calls the play. The quarterback throws the pass. You're supposed to catch the ball. That's why we pay you $6 million a year. It's what you do after you catch the ball that measures desire. Yards after catch. Do you know your demo numbers? Service walk percentages? They're ugly. I know them because I look at them as we call hundreds and hundreds of dealers unsold customers. You know what the average customer in the car business? What the average customer gets a service walk that we preach all the time? You might want to guess at that number. It's less than 10% when we start inspecting what we expect. As Ronald Reagan said, trust and verify. What a time to talk about Republicans and Democrats right now, right? What a mess. But do you know the numbers? Can you check it? I challenge you. I thank you for allowing us to be here today because I do believe that while most are dreaming of success, winners wake up. Wake up subconsciously. Awaken your imagination. Go back to your dealership. Know your numbers. Care about your people. Embrace them, love them. I have 2 daughters and a great son. I got to carry them torch in '96 to Delta. I used to what a great experience that was. I love people, love life. God bless y'all.